Welcome to the Inquisitive Engineer. With winter just around the corner, social media is soon to be full of these clay pot and candle room heaters, and I just want to show you why they honestly work or that they don't work. So they start out with typically one candle or maybe 3 or 4 individual tea candles. And you place it down, and then you have something to hold the clay pot up above the table so you can get airflow underneath it. Here I just happen to have 2 bricks. You take one of these terracotta or clay pots, you put it over the candle, and then you also want to try to cover the hole in the top of the pot. And sometimes you can use the watering base for these. I don't have one, so I found a plate here that works. And I'm going to use a few pennies here in each location to keep the plate up off of the top of the pot so that there is enough airflow and so that the heat is going to come up through the hole, hit the plate, go down, and go out. So do these actually honestly work? Well, I ran this for about 15 minutes, and you could easily grab the pot with your hands, and it is very, very slightly warm to the touch. And the plate was noticeably hotter, but it wasn't hot enough that I could actually not hold on to it for any great length of time. Quite honestly, can these things heat a room? No. These things couldn't even heat a porta potty. And why is that? Well, it comes down to physics and chemistry. The flame on that candle only puts out so much heat. In some online searches, there have been studies done to show that the amount of heat output of a single flame from a candle is somewhere between 75 and 85 BTUs, or British thermal units. And that is just a measure of the output of heat that that flame can produce. Well, let's just say that on average, a candle flame puts out 80 BTUs. Well, that is not a whole lot. Even a small heat pump for a small house puts out around 40 to 45,000 BTUs. And with the resistive heating grade auxiliary heat, those range anywhere from typically another 10, 15, 20,000 up to another 40,000 on a bigger house. And if you have a gas or oil furnace in your house, those things typically put out well in excess of 100,000 BTUs. So this little candle does nothing. And putting the pot over it does nothing to create extra heat. There's no magic going on here. This pot cannot create any more heat than the chemical reaction that is going on with the flame. Now, what it can do is if I just have this candle in the open air, the heat can go up, and it's going to go up towards the ceiling. If I do go ahead and put the pot over it, it is now capturing that heat more localized. And if I go ahead and space that back out again and put the cover on, it's helping to keep the heat localized instead of it going up to the ceiling. So it gives the false sense of warmth and heat, but it is just keeping that heat energy in a more localized area. And quite honestly, this thing, you almost can't even use it a hand warmer. Maybe if you put 4 candles underneath it, maybe it's a feel-good thing on your desk if you're working from home in the winter and it's a little chilly and you can, warm your hands up a little bit. But these things are just a scam. Don't waste your money on trying to get the pieces to make one of these. Don't waste a trip to the hardware store. And quite honestly, the amount of energy that you get out of that candle for the cost of the candle is not that great. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Feel free to leave comments. And as always, stay curious.